Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Road to Finals, Episode 2, an unexpected contender. We've kind of broken down all of Elevate's year, really kind of gone into some big detail about how everything is going to be standing now. Of course, roster changes galore happened all throughout the year. They finally have that Core 4 ready going into the World Finals. Of course, picking up Octane. We want to actually get Octane's thoughts. So, Octane, you're on the show. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic, Ben.
Good.
How are you doing?
That's what I like to hear. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's awesome to have you on the show. I want to start, though, with a pretty obvious question, which I know a lot of people are going to be wondering watching at home. What happened at the end of Season 3 with you and Team Envious? Why did you decide to part ways? Because you guys were playing well. It wasn't as if you were playing bad. It just seemed you couldn't get over that hurdle of OG and FaZe.
I think it honestly, to me at least, it was that hurdle.
Okay.
Like every event, I think it was actually every event that we went to, we lost to FaZe, Optic, and then in like some cases Elevate. I think it was like Season 3, and it was DC. We lost to them.
Okay.
So it was that hurdle itself that I thought that I could get over personally with Elevate over Envy.
Why is that? Is it just to do with the kind of teammate? Not to obviously throw anyone under the bus, but you had pretty aggressive sub players on that squad, and then JCap, world champion. Moving over to Elevate, is that squad just, does it suit you more, I guess, is the best way of explaining it for your playstyle? Do your teammates now kind of just boost your playstyle, if you will?
I think, I know it's kind of early to say. I've only been on the team for less than a week, but I do honestly feel more comfortable on this team with the roles, because I know, like you guys said earlier in the show, Nato, you can count on him for maps. You know he's not going to perform badly. He's going to be one of the most consistent players that I think I've ever played with. And hope to see how well he plays. Jerry, he's had success the entire game, or Slack, if whoever doesn't know that.
Yep.
He's had success the entire game. He's beaten me twice or 3 times. And then TJ, who I'd actually always wanted a team with TJ because of how versatile of a player he actually is. So if I'm not comfortable doing something, or Nato or Jerry isn't comfortable doing something, TJ's oh, I can do that with ease. So it makes me a better player because I don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing.
Makes sense.
Right. So I mean, like you said, you're only on a team for a week so far, but what steps are you taking right now to really prepare for OG and FaZe? Looking ahead for MLG Finals in general, but like you said, that hurdle is the main reason why you joined this team. What steps, how's practice been going so far?
It's actually going really well. We scrimmed almost every day, but Jerry went over to his girlfriend's house the week, or the first weekend I joined this past 10 and 5K. So we didn't play in those. But every other day that he's been home, we've been scrimming, and we've actually been playing really well. And I'm just from the first, my initial impressions of this team, I think we're gonna do really well.
Really well? Are you finally gonna get over that bump?
I think so.
Wow,
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great event. I can feel it.
Good. That's all I hear. Because that was kind of what we were breaking down before the commercial break was, we'll go specifically with you, your performances against Team FaZe and Optic Gaming. Now, going all the way back to Season 3, you're going to hate me for this, but again, I'm going to read out some of those numbers. You played up against FaZe and Clayster, of course. Big rivalry between you two as you're trying to break in as one of the best battle players in the game. I think you're 100% top 3, but it's that big argument for, first and second, etc. You go up against Clay. Your overall KD drops down to a 0.7. Look, it hurts just to hear it, doesn't it? It goes down to a 0.79. Hardpoint, you get shut out at 0.86, and uplink was a 0.69. What happened when you played FaZe?
Honestly, that series was probably the weirdest series I've ever played on LAN. Clay, if you look at Clay's numbers that series, he didn't do well either.
Okay.
That series was essentially sub versus sub. I didn't play well. I said myself on Twitter, that was literally the worst series I've ever played on LAN. I couldn't buy a gunfight.
Wow.
But I would hit the back button. I noticed Clay would he wasn't doing anything either. So it wasn't necessarily him shutting me down or me shutting him down. It was it was just subs. It was Tommy and Attach versus Danny and Yuli. It was a weird series.
Very strange.
I don't really know how to describe it, to be honest with you.
Makes some sense, I guess, when you play like that way. Just massively aggressive sub players kind of running at you, putting under constant pressure. But then you go up against Optic Gaming, okay? And then this is where it looks a lot better for you going up against Formal. You drop a 1.08 overall KD, a 1.14 hardpoint. Your uplink's 0.83, but your S&D goes up to a 1.5. That is absolutely massive. What went right for you in that series?
I think it's the fire that is playing against Optic Gaming. Because
Okay.
you can go on LAN, you can get on main stage, you're setting up, you're not playing Optic, oh man, we're feeling pretty confident, and you look over, you see Optic on this shit, you're wow, I'm about to destroy these fools. You get that confidence, oh, you see Formal on the team, oh, he's considered best battle in this game, oh, I'm about to destroy him. It's it's that inner fire that I put in myself, that I see those players on the other team and how revered they are in Call of Duty. It's oh, I'm about to destroy him.
But you don't get that when you play FaZe?
Oh, I feel that same fire. It's like playing. Okay, it's a segue into the inevitable question: Formal or Clay? Honestly, I do think Matt Formal is better, just from playing against him. Not necessarily because of like my numbers are better against him than they are against Clay, but like his playstyle is more difficult to play against for me because I do believe, and I'm pretty much sure that anybody else would agree with me, that Formal shot is better than Clay's. But Clay like brings more than just like raw gun skill to a team. Like Clay's a leader. Like anybody that's team will tell you like they're never out of a series or like regardless of how bad that like their team is doing, he always thinks that they can win. And he's more of a vocal leader than Matt is, I think. But like strictly skill perspective, I think that Matt is better, but I think Clay brings more to a team. So that's why the debate is like kind of strange because like you can argue either side and no one will be right.
Okay.
True. No, you can't really win in that argument.
I mean, I guess it depends.
Unless you're gonna go like championships, then you're just gonna say like, Formal's better, or Clay won COD champs. It's like,
but in your specific, you as a player, okay, forget that you're on Elevate. Just imagine, you know, let's say for example you're an aggressive sub player. You don't even play the same role. I say to you, all right, you can play with Formal, you can play with Clay. For you personally, who would you rather play with? You say Formal?
If I'm running sub?
Yeah, if you're running a sub, who would you rather play with?
I'd probably play Formal.
Okay.
Interesting. So
got that answer out of you.
So we know who you'd rather play with. We know who you technically stats-wise perform better against, and we know who you think is better. But who do you feel more comfortable playing against? Like, obviously, your numbers.
Comfortable playing against?
Yeah, more comfortable against.
Probably Formal. He's not in my face as much. Clay is like a very aggressive bow. He's like classic kind of, but not. If that makes any sense. Like,
yeah, just
Formal is more like a statue AR player because he has an insane long-range shot. Like he's destroyed me on multiple occasions. I can tell you that. But like Clay is like. He won't hold a power position if he can like run at you and he'll know he'll challenge. Like, he will challenge you. So Clay or Formal like more of like hold a position, hold his team spawns, like get those long range gunfights. And Clay is more in your face, like I'm gonna push you out and get these spawns for my team anyway.
So how do you kind of manage that? Like, so we'll start with Formal. When Formal is a distance doing those kind of or holding down those power positions, you as a top quality battle player, how do you try and counter that? Because I imagine, toe to toe, you win 40% of the gunfights. He wins 60. If you say
100% of the gunfights. No,
I'm being realistic.
Honestly, it's probably like 50-50. I'm a very confident player, so I will challenge him. Like, I'll challenge him.
Does it just come down to your positioning then? Is that what's
honestly
key for you?
If I get first shot or like I have somebody with me that I can bait or they'll bait me to kill him, like that's most of the time how a battle player will hold a position is like he'll bait his subs or like he'll depend on his own shot to hold that position. But if it comes down to a 1v1 gunfight, say like he's top glass and I'm top like background on solar, I will challenge him. Like that's
100%.
just how it's gonna go.
Okay,
so if I win the gunfight, I do. If I don't, I don't. Or I will clean it.
Same
up,
question with Clayster then. What do you have to do with someone who's a little bit more aggressive and consistently kind of pushing towards you?
Honestly, I think playing against Clay is more of trading because like he'll like in my position, I'm more of a statue AR, so I can relate to Formal a lot better because people tell me I'm a really slow player. Which I could agree with that. With Clay like jumping at me, or like Clay has the best mid-range bow shot I think I've ever seen. Like he plays a bow as a sub, and it works extremely well because of how like I think he plays on a higher sensitivity than I think he plays on like 4 or 5.
Okay.
So mid-range gunfights for him come a lot easier. So he's constantly in my face like a sub is like a Zuma or like a Scump. So it makes my life a lot harder because I constantly have to be moving to prevent him from jumping at me. Like I had to backdash out of a position or I have to stun him rushing me, things like that.
Right. So, I mean, enough about OG and FaZe. Are there any other teams that you're, wanting to play that you might be worried about? I mean, I think Denial kind of
worried about, not so much, but wanting to play, I would go Denial and Epsilon. Epsilon strictly because, the 75% of TR legacy that has become that team. Or Denial because I actually do enjoy playing against Denial because they're all, like, young guns, I guess you could call them.
Right.
But I do enjoy playing that team because Austin is also a really good battle. Like, I would put him right next to me, if not better than me.
Really?
Because, like, yeah, Austin is a great player. Like, I don't understand why people have counted him out. I understand,
like at the start of the game, he was considered like the best, if not one of the best.
Austin's still that good. People like
right, and then he kind of
Clay and Formal have taken the 1 and 2, obviously, and then like the rest of them is like honestly, it's personal opinion. Like I think I'm the 3rd best battle in this game. Austin is either tied with me or like right behind me.
Right.
He's a very good player, and he's also hard to play against. Like he's a phenomenal shot. But his subs on his team, they're kind of like how Elevate is now with like the really aggressive subs in Nato and Jerry. So it's like I think that we match up head to head. We're very similar teams.
Okay. kind of makes some sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Toe to toe, are you better than Classic?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
I love it.
He wouldn't have gotten dropped for me or left for me.
Oh, yo, get some aloe for that burn. Damn, that's crazy. It's kind of a bigger question and kind of more open, I guess, open-ended is you've had some pretty good performances so far on AW. It's been a great year for yourself. You've really broken out. You've answered a lot of people who have kind of called you, oh, he can only do what he does online. You went to LAN and you put up big numbers against some of the best teams, great individual performances. But what would winning MLG World Finals mean to you?
What would it mean to me?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't think I could put that into one word, to be honest with you.
Don't use multiple words.
Relief, I think I would say, because I've had a lot of pressure on me in my personal life recently. My parents don't think that Call of Duty could be a prolonged thing for me. Like they value like school or college over Call of Duty. Okay. And if I brought home $25,000, like, oh, here's
here's my paycheck.
Here's my paycheck. They'd be like, oh.
They'd be like, okay, you have to pay for college now.
Yeah, right. That'd be great. So, are you just currently a student, or do you have a part-time job as well? Like, how do you full-time student? What do you study?
Political science. I'm a freshman in college right now, so it's more like just gen ed stuff, like math, science, whatever.
Yeah, freshman year is rough.
Pretty smart then.
Freshman year, I go every day.
Yep. Every day.
Commute every day.
So how do you find the time to get all the practice in then? Because I know a lot of people trying to get into COD always struggle with that.
Yeah, I scheduled all of my classes to either like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have like 9 to like 10:50, and then I'm done. Okay. And then like Tuesday, Wednesday, all my classes end before 12, so I have all day to either do homework like right when I get home or play from like 5 to X because that's when teams actually start getting on. So right. I've made my schedule based around Call of Duty kind of.
So you said this is the most comfortable team you've been on. But
yeah,
I mean,
think so.
Honestly, since you kind of broke out in AW, you played with some amazing Call of Duty.
I was just thinking this the other day. I forgot who I was talking about. I teamed with Cap, Joe, and Pat.
Yeah,
in this game.
Out of those 3, who was your favorite team?
Yes, Cap, what a question.
Cap,
really?
110%. Oh, best teammate I've ever had in my life.
J-Cap?
Yeah,
best teammate you've ever had? Why? Explain.
Yeah.
Because I teamed with Pat for I think it was one event. Like Pat in himself is like a guy, like he's a myth, a legend. In this game, I don't think that he transitioned well into this game, and I think I'm not trying to bash him, but his placings show that he didn't transition well in this game. Right. Cap won COD champs, and I value Cap because he made me 10 times better. I came into that Envy team with a good shot, and that was pretty much all I had. I was an idiot when it came to in-game knowledge and stuff like that. I'm just being honest. Cap took me and made me into at least 10 times better of a player. He just put knowledge in me, not necessarily my shot. I would do something like, Sam, you're actually stupid. What are you doing? I was like, wait, what is it? And then he would tell me something I've never thought of before in my life if it wasn't for him. Wow. So I was like, Cap, 110%, hands down, my favorite team I've ever had.
Wow.
Interesting.
That's awesome to hear. I mean, I remember when the team was kind of forming, we went to some listen-ins, especially in Uplink. It was always really comical for us to kind of listen because Jacob would be like, "What are you doing?"
I remember one play in specific. I think what event was it? I think it might have been Dallas. It was comeback uplink, and we were they had just missed a 1, and we were on good side, and we wrapped the ball green. I was like, pass me the ball, pass me. He was like, no, you retarded, go kill him. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I remember that exact play. It was so funny because we're actually on the listening as well. But honestly, Octane, you're a fantastic person. Wish you the best of luck come finals. You definitely deserve great placement. Hopefully, you can win a big chunk of money, take it home to your parents, and be like,
I think it's gonna be a good event.
You're confident,
I think it's going to be a great event.
I mean, the question that we kind of started this whole show with is this new squad good enough now to get over that hurdle of OG and FaZe? If you had to give me a percent, now I know you're always going to be biased and you're going to say you're going to win, but if you had to give me a percent, from 0, of course, to 100, how confident are you that you could beat OG and FaZe on Championship Sunday?
Championship Sunday?
Championship Sunday. You made it all the way to Championship Sunday.
Are we in grand finals?
Loser finals.
Let's say you're let's say you're in losers finals. You play against, let's say, FaZe, and then you make it to grand finals and you play against OG. How sure would you be that you're winning that event?
Honestly, I'd go 50-50, 60-40 us.
Okay, that's what I like to hit, man.
Recently,
confident man.
FaZe and Optic, you guys have noticed, DC, they placed top 8. Granted, they came back and beat Optic in 2 best-of-7s at S3 playoffs.
Absurd. Yep.
They're on such tilt against each other that honestly, I think that we could cause an upset if they're just worried about each other.
Makes sense.
They just initially think like, oh, we're playing FaZe or we're playing Optic in Grand Finals, and we come in and like maybe take first map, and then like, uh-oh. What is happening here? And we went to
what is going on?
What is going on? This is not what I predicted at all. So
we're not done the tournament. Oh, well.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, massive thank you again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. Getting your thoughts on the new squad and your own personal performances. Wish you the best of luck come Worlds. Again, hope you can take home a big old prize chunk, show your parents, and continue playing Call of Duty, especially next year with all of Black Ops 3 being announced. Exciting times to be a professional Call of Duty player. But that is going to conclude episode 2 of Road to Finals. We're going to be back again on Monday with episode 3. I'm not even going to give you any clues. All I'm going to say is it is going to be awesome. Best till last for sure. See you guys Monday right here on MLG.TV/ESR.